You have a collect call from boop, at the county jail. From the county jail, whatever they say, that place. All right. Today has been a real reality check. My daughter started her first day of high school, and my son started his first day of middle school. So let me tell y'all, this was like a monumental year for us because my daughter, like I said, was starting high school. My son was starting middle school. I was turning 40. And the mister, as I call my husband, I don't remember what the monumental thing was for him, but for three of us, we all were going facing big things. All right, so I can't believe the time has gone by so fast. I'm not one to show my emotions too much, but this got me. It was 11 years ago, my son's age, that I received that dreaded call. And let me back up and tell you why it got me. Because I took my daughter to school. I woke up that morning, I'm getting ready to take her to high school. And I actually was getting ready to start my YouTube channel then, and I was going to record that moment. But like I said, something in me just wouldn't let me. I wasn't ready. And I remember just taking her to school, telling my son bye. My dad took him to school. He went to middle school for, his first day at middle school. Her first day at high school. And that was just really hitting me because he was not there. And I knew he wanted to be there, how bad he wanted to be there. Because those 2 years of involved. So, yeah. We pull up at the school, and Kennedy, we get to the front of the building, and she literally freezes. But she talked so much noise, like she was just so ready. So I'm expecting her like, okay, you're here, bye, get out. And she didn't get out the car. And she froze, and she just sat there. I thought I was gonna have to push the girl out the car. But she saw a friend of hers, mother, walk by. And we asked her where her daughter was, so Kendi got out the car. And that's how she went in the building. And when she walked in the building, like I said, I don't show my emotions, but next thing I know, I just felt my eyes watering. Because like, dang, my son is going to middle school. My daughter's going to high school. I'm out here about to be 40. All this time has passed. This was my first year not teaching because we're getting into that later. But it was just a lot for me. So let me pick up. So it was 11 years ago, my son's age, that I received the dreaded call. You have a collect call from at the county jail. Never did I think that 11 years later, he'd still be there, well, in prison. I received the call, my heart dropped, and I immediately thought to myself, you done effed up now. But since we had started premarital counseling, I learned how to communicate a little better. I didn't let those exact words flow from my mouth. But my fiancé was convinced that he would be home in a couple of days. Negative. I felt it. I knew better. But I tried to remain hopeful. Now let me clarify. I do believe people must receive consequences for the things they do wrong. But that's not what this post is about, okay? So I don't want to hear all the comments, but you're going to do what you want to do anyway. But yeah, that ain't what it's about. I understand the consequences. All right, so I was pregnant, and my daughter was 3 years old. Day after day, I continued to talk to his attorney, but all efforts failed. I held out as long as I could to keep from mentioning his arrest to my parents. So remember, I'm not even at home. I haven't told anybody. I'm just battling and taking this stuff by myself, taking these calls and like, okay, what's next? What do I do? What do I do? But of course, parents know when something just isn't right. And I swear that gets on my nerves. But now I'm the same way with my child. You just know when something's not right. So they know their children and can sense trouble miles away. Trouble miles away. To make a long story short, I had no choice but to break the news to them. I continued to stay at our home thinking that soon something would give. Our son was due in a few months and I thought he'd be out, my husband, out of prison by then, even if he was released until a reporting date. Wrong. No release. Point blank, period, as they say. I was experiencing, I can laugh yet. I laugh now, okay? I couldn't then. I was experiencing all kinds of emotions. Mad, sad, frustrated, depressed, angry, embarrassed, betrayed, lonely, abandoned, fear. You name it, I felt it. I said that it was on the, okay. That's how you know it's real. The only thing that kept me sane at the moment was God. I constantly prayed. All I knew was if I had to deal with postpartum, oh Lord. I'm so thankful I ain't deal with no postpartum depression. In addition to what was going on, I just might have cracked right on up, and that's for real. Because I had a little bit with my daughter. So had I experienced that, with that, I might not be here today. So, thankfully, when my son was born, I didn't experience not one bit of depression. You know why? And I promise you, this is what I believe to this day. I prayed about it. I prayed and I asked God not to let me experience that. Because I was already handling too much. So I had to wait to hear from my fiance to share the news of our son's arrival. The delivery experience, and of course, he wanted to know who he looked like. I don't know if I read that right, but y'all get it. All right, the move. I eventually had to move back home. Now, you know when you move out your parents' home, the last thing you want to do is move out. Life happens. I didn't experience postpartum depression, but I did experience I gotta move back home depression. Not just move back home, but I gotta move back home with my kids and my fiance in prison depression. I can laugh now, but OMG, those were some painful days. But I was thankful to have the support of my family and friends. My new normal. After months of depression and just feeling lost, I knew I had to find a way to support my children and myself. The collect calls became way too expensive. We had to rely on letter writing. I don't think I had written a letter since middle of high school. As time went on, I knew I had to support my children and myself. I had a degree in biology, so I took a job as a science teacher. I must say that was the best therapy for me. I was able to step away from the reality of my situation for 8 hours of the day and not to mention, get quite a few good laughs in with my students. They actually helped to bring me life at a pretty trying time. So thank y'all. All right, so why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this for those of you that would go through and are going through this situation. It's not easy. It will get easier. I don't know if it gets easier, but you adjust. You'll learn to live your new norm, but it will remain difficult. See, that's how y'all know this so real. I'm just talking and stuff right there, especially when children are involved. There's a stigma that comes with families who have loved ones incarcerated, and especially to those who decide to marry and stay married to their husbands or wives. Just know that you are not alone. There are several of us that are experiencing these roller coaster emotions. All right, so again, that was You Have a Collect Call from Big at the county jail. Go back for the first inmate to you, husband to me, if you're just slightly lost. And I forgot the other one. So check it out. More to come. All right, so as you can see, 14 years later, I'm here. I made it after that phone call and several more phone calls. So if I made it, guess what? You can too. And you may not necessarily be going through what I'm going through. Who knows? Your situation may be even more challenging than mine was. But depression is depression, you know? So you can get through it. And I'm telling you my experience and how I got through it. And my way was prayer and trusting and believing God, and that better days were coming. And better days did come. So don't give up. Keep going. Stay strong, beautiful, and unbothered.